So I just had this profound conversation with one of my mentors, and I was talking to him about balance, because I think balance is this interesting thing where I was almost asking him, like, what does he think of balance? What does he see as balance? And in the sense of, I do a lot of like inner work and therapy and stuff like that, right? And by the way, therapy has a super negative connotation, as if you're doing therapy, something's wrong with you. But therapy is one of the best things I've ever done. And so everyone, I highly recommend to do therapy. I was doing parts work last week. I've done trigger trauma therapy, inner child work. I've done tons of stuff, NLP, like a bunch of different things. And it's only benefited my life, and learned a lot more about myself, which just helps with everything. And recently I've been in these weird phases, and I've been battling with the idea of balance. And I hear a ton of entrepreneurs talking about it, like Hamosi, stuff like this. And I don't necessarily know if I agree. And it's one of those beliefs that I've had that I'm kind of challenging right now, right? It's the quote, we challenge all of our beliefs except those we truly believe and those we think to question, right? By Orson Scott Card. But I've had this belief for a while, and so it's kind of difficult for me to challenge it. And I almost think I've been kind of stubborn when it comes to this belief. And that belief is about balance, and I just like to work. That's all I do. I don't have hobbies. I barely have any friends. That's the reality. I just like to work, and that's all I do. But then I did parts work a week ago, and it was like there was a part of me that's like this sergeant part. And that's the driver. That's the one that's got me pushing it forward. But I'm almost in two minds debating whether it's almost too much, and to where I could be progressing faster if I had balance. But then again, I battle with this idea of, what is balance? Because everyone's view of balance might be different, right? Like, for example, is balance just the ideologies that other people are pushing onto you? Like, for example, if someone says, you should have more hobbies and you should do this and that and blah, blah, blah. Well, it's like, what if I don't want to do that, right? And then again, it comes down to, is this something you want to do? Should you just discipline yourself to do it anyway? Like, I'm just really battling with this sort of like balance, this whole balance ideology. And so what I'm currently thinking, and why I've just had this profound conversation with one of my mentors, he explained to me, I'm like, right, that's all I like to do is work. I don't have hobbies. He was like, and he explained to me about balance, like, maybe you should go and find a sport or do something, right? I used to be an elite level athlete, and so the gym, like when I go to the gym to lift weights, right, which I don't do very often, but I had a stage where I would go to the gym a lot, and I was kind of shredded at one point, believe it or not. Now I'm really skinny. And so, like, I used to do athletics. I used to be really high level, and when I go to the gym, like, because that sport, running track, is so stimulating, and I'm someone that really like needs mental stimulation, when I go to the gym and just do effortless weights and stuff, it really I just never vibe with it, and so I don't want to do it. And then again, like, you could be one of those people that's like, well, it's not about wanting to do it, you should do it, blah, blah, blah. But I do think that you should find stuff that you actually want to do, because that's how you actually keep routines, keep habits, and actually live a happy, fulfilled life. And so, like, I just don't like the gym, and I don't want to do the gym, right? But then again, there's part of me where I'll find days where I work really hard and I do 16-hour days, extreme flow, extreme focus. And then there's other days where I'll just be on and off. Like, an hour I'll be distracted, an hour I'll be working, and there's just no flow. And it's been happening quite a lot recently, and which is why I started really working with my therapist again quite a lot and more frequently. Like, I got a session today, we're going to do some like hypnotized therapies kind of stuff, like hypnotherapy. But the point is, maybe it comes down to balance, and I don't have any balance. And so because I just want to work and that's all I enjoy doing, and maybe I've convinced myself that that's what I enjoy doing, when in reality maybe there's the other parts of me that would enjoy to go out for a morning walk and enjoy life and enjoy nature, because there's definitely a part of me that likes that, right? Like when I used to go surfing, or whenever I like that kind of thing, I do enjoy that side of things, right? So I'm like just challenging this belief right now, because I feel like I need more balance in my life. I'm healthy in terms of like the stuff I eat, and and all that side of things. But yeah, I just need to figure this shit out. I'm just documenting because this is just like where I'm at. And so the profound conversation I just had with one of my mentors is one of my first mentors. He said to me that there's this story of the two axemen, I don't know what you call them, lumberjacks? Two lumberjacks, right? There's a story of the two lumberjacks, and they're in a competition of who can cut the most wood in 24 hours. And they can't see each other. There's a wall between them. They've got their wood each side, and they've got their axes. Time starts, and they start chopping wood, right? And one of the lumberjacks is an old guy, one of them is a young guy, right? And so the young guy is just hammering away, going crazy, really going for it, like working really hard, and he just keeps going, slogging away for 24 hours, right? And he wants to see how the other lumberjack is doing, but obviously he can't see him, so he like peeks over the wall every now and again, right, to see if he's winning and how he's doing. And every time he peeks over the wall, he just sees the older lumberjack just sat there with the axe on his lap, and he's thinking, oh, easy, just goes back, keeps slogging away, keeps chopping. The timer ends at 24 hours, and they see how much wood they've cut, and the older lumberjack has cut so much more wood than the younger guy. And the younger guy is thinking, like, what the fuck, how? Like, every time I looked over, you was sat with the axe on your lap. And the older guy explains that what he was doing is he was sharpening his axe so he could be more efficient and cut and do it faster. And so it's not necessarily about working hard and slogging away and going really fast, but sometimes you need to sit back and sharpen your axe to actually be more efficient and to actually be more locked in and to actually get more done. And so when he told me that story, it really hit and really resonated, which is why I'm giving it to you guys. And so, like, it's not about outworking your problems. You can't outwork your problems. You have to outthink them, right? And so it's not just necessarily about working hard. That doesn't necessarily guarantee anything. You've got to be switched on up you, and you've got to be operating at an efficient level. And so it comes back to, how do you do that? Well, I think there needs to be some type of balance, right? Which is why I'm challenging my beliefs around balance. And so I've always thought balance is bullshit. Why do you need balance? You don't need balance. Just work. If that's what you want to do and you've got big aspirations, look at all the successful people like Elon, blah, blah, blah. They're just obsessed. That's all they do. But then you also ask yourself, like, are they happy? Are they living a fulfilling life? This kind of thing, right? And so we don't know that because only they know that. And trust me, when you get to a certain level of wealth, it doesn't become about money. And so, like, I've got enough money to where I'm extremely content with the amount of money that I have, right? I still obviously want to make more because I love the game. It's not necessarily to make more money, I just love the game, right? Which is why this Skool game shit, I love competing, right? I'm a competitive motherfucker, which is why I'm competing with all the big dogs in the Skool community. In the Skool games that Alex and Mosey's running, I'm 6th in the world right now, competing with people against millions of followers, right? And so, yeah, if you want to join the community, go join the community. But regardless, this whole idea of balance, I think it makes a lot of sense. So what I'm going to try and do for this next week is find something that I can fit into my daily routine, like a morning walk or an evening walk, because I do love that kind of thing, like maybe a hike. I want to do it every day and just like see what happens. I'm just going to test it and see what happens and just try something else and add it to my day, because right now my day is wake up, make coffee, work, eat healthy, work. That's all I do every single day, and for the longest I can remember, that's all I've done, right? And so I do feel like there's that part of me, there's that like inner athlete that thought he was going to be an Olympic champion that needs to get out and do something. And my sergeant side of me, my brain, like my sergeant side of the brain, which I realized when I was doing parts work with my therapist, wants me to just keep going and push everything else down. You don't have to worry about that. Just keep working. And that's how like burnout and stuff happens. And if you don't think burnout's real, it really is real. Everyone has burnout. You will procrastinate shit. It's just, that is the journey of an entrepreneur, right? But I think I could potentially stop it if I fix this balance issue. And balance could be different for everyone, and I think everyone has different perspectives, but I do think you have to have your version of balance. But the main thing I look at when I look at balance, which I think is true for everyone, is you need to be living the 4 pillars of the good life: health, wealth, love, and happiness. And so there needs to be a balance in each one. If you are fulfilled in the love side of things, if you're happy, if you're healthy, and if you're wealthy, I think that's when you live the good life. And so I've really neglected the love side. I've really neglected the health side in terms of getting out and movement, in terms of eating like in an insanely strict, good diet that's really good for me, no processed shit and none of that, like all organic, like very specific, expensive ingredients of good, high quality food. I've nailed it, right? And that was my like easy way of being like, right, like I want to be as efficient as possible. So I'm like, if I go and leave my house to go and do something, it might be a 15-20 minute drive there, it's inefficient, like that's not how I want to operate. I want everything to be in one place, which is like why I've always thrown about the idea of like, do I build a gym in my house? This, but then again, I don't even like the gym, right? I don't like the lifting weights, it's just boring to me, and so it's not stimulating. So the entire time when I'm in the gym, I'm just thinking about business, I'm not present, I don't enjoy it, and I'm just like, this is a fucking waste of time. So I need to find something. The challenge for me right now is finding something that doesn't feel like a waste of time, and that when I get back from that specific thing, I feel even more energetic and more enlightened to want to work harder, and it's the whole sharpening the axe. I need one of those activities, I think, in the day that just lets me sit back, sharpen my axe so I can go harder there again. Because right now, I'm that young kid in that axe competition that's just chopping away, which is inefficient. That is what's inefficient. And there's me sitting here thinking that the inefficient thing is going and doing another activity because I'm wasting time, when in reality, that hour that I'm wasting, I probably spend an hour a day procrastinating anyway, sometimes even more. And so if I went out and did that hour, maybe I would save tons of hours and I would actually move at 10x the speed. And so this is just literally me challenging my own beliefs, like right now, live, thinking through my problems. And so that's what I think I'm going to try and accomplish. But I'm going to book a certain amount of time out on my calendar every day at a specific time and go and do something. And right now I'm thinking a walk makes sense, like a hike, like a 30-minute hike in nature or an hour hike in nature. I live in the middle of nowhere. There's tons of stuff around me. And so I just think it's going to be the best option, right? Like there's tons of sick places that I could probably go. So yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play around with this whole balance thing and figure out when to do it. Do I do it? I don't think I should do it at the start of my day. I think I wake up, coffee, work, then do the thing. And that's like the break, that's the sharpen the axe, right? Because you want to go at it hard first to get into flow. Take a break, sharpen the axe, come straight back, right? Start chopping the wood again. And so that's what I think I'm going to do. I'm thinking like a 3 to 4 hour work morning. Then after that, break, go and do the thing, and then come back and try again. And then maybe there's another thing I do. I don't know, right? I'm just spitballing, but I'm going to play around with this whole balance idea and see what happens, and I'll let you guys know how it goes. But it does make sense, and that axe story really resonated with me because I have just been that young guy that's just slogging away. And while it's got me here, I think I could have got here even faster. And I think I could be wiser, and I think I could have learned a lot more. And so, yeah, I can't help but feel I've wasted time, wasted part of my life right now by not figuring this balancing out sooner. But then obviously you only learn by going on the journey, so it's a necessary step. But yeah, I'm gonna go look at some like hike trails around here and find a cool spot and just go and enjoy nature because I like that shit. And so that's what I think I'm gonna do. And yeah, that's the plan. So balance, right? Health, wealth, love, happiness. Balance in all aspects. So if you're trying to find balance right now, I'd recommend doing the same thing and just giving it a test and see what happens. And yeah, if you just want to work all day, really analyze what part of you wants to do that. Because 100%, like Hamosi says, that's all he wants to do is work all day and he doesn't care about anything else, and this whole idea of balance is bullshit. But you can just tell Hamosi probably has a ton of trauma. Like you can just tell from the stories and stuff. And I don't know if he's faced them. I might be speaking on his behalf now, and I don't want to do that. But from my perspective, I feel like if he did some parts work, there's probably a part of him deep down that just wants to do something else. And maybe he does do something else in the day. Maybe him getting like the yogurt and stuff like that is a part of that balance that he has, and maybe that's his little break. But I don't even have anything like that. I don't leave the house. I just work. I wake up and work. I see the same walls every day, and I just work. And I've done that for 6 years. Like literally, I've not had hobbies, nothing for 6 years. I've just locked myself in the back cave pretty much and just relentlessly worked. And I've been that young guy just hitting the axe. But now I think it's time to transition to the old guy that hits with a sharp axe, and as soon as this gets blunt, sharpen the axe and go again. And that way you actually do more and you're more efficient. So yeah, that's where I'm at. That's what I'm thinking. And hopefully this has helped someone, because I just think that, like I said, I'm going on this journey, so I'm just documenting the stuff that I learn. And so, yeah, hopefully if there's anyone like at a similar stage or debating it, maybe I can save you 4 years of your life, 6 years of your life, and find balance sooner. Because even though you might think you want to be working all the time, go and take that little break that is in one of the other fields like health or wealth. And yeah, maybe this is only an issue for me, because maybe a lot of you guys go to the gym and that is your break. But for me personally, the gym is not it, so I need to find something else. Yeah, but yeah, that's going to be it, and peace.